In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly what you need to know about December 21st, 2021, about the energy moving forward past that, and how you can best go about your own life, your own energy, to make sure that you end up on a more optimal timeline. I know some of these phrases I'm using are kind of esoteric, but I want to share with you a general macro perspective that I think will completely change the trajectory of your own timeline. So I think this is a very important video to watch. I think this is something that I'm going to get honest with you and share with you what I think is really going on and what I'm doing to best prepare myself for the big changes that are happening on the planet. And my intention with this too is that we're all able to, in a way, shift together to a more optimal timeline. So in this video is exactly what I will be talking about. I had a couple friends come over yesterday. I had my friend Bridget Nielsen come over and Victor Odo, and we were having a conversation about everything that's happening in the world. And we were also talking about how interesting it is of just how everything's like fallen apart. You know, it's an interesting macrocosm, microcosm, where I think even in my own life, there's a lot of personal things I've been going through where I'm letting go and I'm shedding old patterns within myself. And it's very easy for me to see that this is also happening at a collective level. And there was something I was talking about that I was saying, and that's that many of us that have been through a spiritual awakening, probably you, if you're watching this video, if you've resonated with my content before, if you've been through a spiritual awakening and you understand that you're an eternal spiritual being having a temporary human experience, or at least you've had things that have maybe woken you up from the rigidity of like 3D reality in a way, then you've probably been through some pain growing up. Maybe you went through some type of trauma. We all have our own degree of trauma that we may go through. And what happens is that trauma, that pain from childhood led to, and it created pressure that helped you wake up to a new aspect of yourself. And in a way, it becomes like a gift, even though it's not the most pleasurable thing to experience, or we don't like to really dwell in the past. But that pressure created a spiritual awakening. Well, what is happening right now on the planet is that many people are having that internal pressure created. And from that internal pressure, it's causing people to kind of pop like popcorn, to kind of wake up. Because what's happening is that pressure is creating that so that people are starting to question things. Even my grandma's like 70 something years old. And for the longest time, she's like political, a liberal Democrat who's been in watching news, watching media for such a long time. And the interesting thing is that even as of recently, she's said things that I never would have thought I would hear her say. You know, she's not necessarily into the spiritual awakening content, but she's open to it. She watches my videos. So if you're watching this, Nana, love you. But she said things before to me like, yeah, I think that, everything that the media is saying is BS. I'm like, what? You've been watching the media forever. She's like, yeah, I can tell that this is fabricated. There's probably an agenda behind this. Like, to hear her say that and to hear her generation say that is kind of mind-blowing to me. But even if you look at the media just in general and what is said, the media is owned by 80 or 90% of the media is owned by one or two different corporations. Corporations own the media. And there's a certain intention that's behind what is being spewed out there, because there are people on the planet that do know that if you can control the narrative and you can control the attention, then you can control the population. And they know that. And I'm not here to be doom and gloom and all that stuff. And I think awareness is powerful, but at the same time, knowing that, it's easy for me to see that there's agendas going on with certain things that are being rolled out on the planet. And for me, the thing that I become very aware of is one, discernment. Becoming aware of discernment, becoming aware of where I'm putting my energy, what I'm consuming, how that's affecting my consciousness. But I believe that all of us connected to here, and this is the one thing I really want to point out here, is us collectively together, our energies added up equals our collective consciousness. So when many, many people on the planet are believing and are in fear, they're giving away their power, and they're much easier to control. And I think that it's obvious in some ways that some of the things that happened, maybe some orchestration of some of the energies that have happened over the last 2 years since 2020, led to different things. Like if you wanted people to be open to doing certain things, maybe if you put fear into them and you exaggerated something, then you would get people to a state to where they'd be more open to do something, Now, with that being said, and talking about the energy dynamic of all this, I think discernment's one of the most important things, but I also want to point out that I really believe that there are different realities that are overlaying each other right now. Different realities. And there's many different parallel realities that exist in many different timelines in a way. What I mean by this is follow your own intuition when you make different choices, but also understand that you are an eternal spiritual being. One of the biggest things there are on the planet is our beliefs and our energy that we put into what has happened. So it's almost like if you were to eat like a cake, for example, maybe there's sugar in the cake. Maybe that cake isn't the best for you because there's a lot of sugar in it. Probably not bad for you every now and then, but if you take that cake, but then also you take the cake and you feel extraordinarily guilty about it. You feel guilty that you took the cake, you beat yourself up because you took the cake and you got the sugar in you. What's even worse than just the sugar is the emotion and the guilt that you feel for taking it. So the thing I want to point you to is understanding that at the end of the day, you are an eternal spiritual being. And that the way that you feel about something and the way that you think and what you believe about it has a big impact on it. I remember I was talking to my friend Bridget yesterday, and she was saying that she had somebody that came to her retreat that worked in the medical field or something, and she was like a nurse, and she saw people come into the hospital. She's like, we've never seen what is happening with the people that come in, and some of them just drop the way that they do. Now I know it sounds like I'm spreading fear right now, but I'm not. It's what she said. She asked this person, what is the commonality that you notice in all the people that are coming in that are kind of dropping and in a lot of pain with everything going on? She goes, all the ones that come in heavily watch the news is what we found out. I find that interesting because the beliefs we have create our reality. And if we're watching the news a lot and we're buying into fear a lot, we are increasing the probability of us also experiencing certain things in certain ways. So the reason I'm sharing this is because I really want to point the energy at us being discerning with where we put our energy, with what we're buying into. And especially with December 21st, 2021, back in 2012, there were millions of people on the planet that thought we were going to ascend into a higher level of consciousness. That's my way of rationalizing, by the way, that I was one of those people. It was embarrassing to admit, but let me get vulnerable. I've also said it in other videos before, but in 2012, I was reading certain content and I felt like there was a big shift in energy happening, but I also thought it was very literal. I thought literally maybe there's a shift in consciousness happening where it's like a physical thing. So I became very ungrounded. During that time, I became vegan. I started eating very light. It was interesting just how far onto a certain spectrum I went. And I was waiting for December 21st, 2012. I was so excited. I knew that there'd be this new up-leveling of consciousness and, this possibility that we're going to ascend into a higher level. And I was waiting for that. And, then they talked about all this, all the craziness happened on the planet. There's people that have been waiting for these mass arrests to happen from the people that are controlling things in a negative way. There's people that have been waiting for NESARA funds to be, distributed to them. There's just always this fucking waiting personality thing that happens in the spiritual community. We're always freaking waiting. We're waiting to be saved. We're waiting for the damn aliens to come down to help us and give us technology to clean the oceans. By God, we actually make the choice to help clean the oceans and not put plastic and shit in it. No, let's just get saved. Doesn't that sound better? Isn't it cooler if ETs come down, higher dimensional beings, and they fucking save us? That'd be so cool. Wouldn't it be? But the thing is it's such a disempowering state to be in. I was waiting in 2012. And honestly, I think I didn't really want to be here in 2012. I went through my awakening. I felt like people didn't understand me. Friends and family thought I went nuts, rightfully so in some ways, because I'm talking about ascension on December 21st, 2012. There I am talking about all these things that may happen. And I was like, people don't understand me. I started developing this negative belief system around that. And then I felt like I wanted to get the fuck out. I wanted to ascend. And I didn't want to be here. And that was a time of my life where I can see that it was good that I went through it, but at the same time, I can see the pain in so many people that they want to go home, you know? Like, if we're eternal spiritual beings having temporary human experiences, I think that many of us signed up to be here, to be a part of this shift in consciousness that's happened on the planet. But the thing that many of us may not realize is we came here to be in body. We came here to have the physical experience. We came here to enjoy the food. We came here to enjoy interacting with other people. We came here, we knew it wasn't going to be easy, but we knew that together, collectively, we could remember who we are and we could shift the collective consciousness from the inside out. So the reason I'm sharing this is because for so long, I was waiting. Even now, you may have clicked on this video because maybe it says like December 21st, 2021, and it's like, what are we waiting for? What's going to happen? I just can't freaking wait. But the thing is like dates in the higher dimension, like time is an illusion. The only thing that exists is here and now. Here and now. So the thing that it's important to understand is with everything going on in the world right now and all the craziness and everything, there's no waiting. We don't need to wait any longer. We can make the choices to change from the inside out. And we start with the man or the woman or the he, she thing or whatever, in the mirror. Whenever I hear that song by Michael Jackson, by the way, I get like teary-eyed. Because we got to start with the man or the woman in the mirror. And we have to look at ourselves. We really have to be honest with ourselves and realize that the collective craziness that's going on right now is a reflection of the internal stuff that we are processing. I've processed more in the last year than I have in my entire freaking life. And I thought I went to Awakening in 2012. So I'm like, I made a big jump there. Holy shit. There's so many levels to this. There's so many levels to this. I've let go of not flawed personality traits, but in a way, yes. The people-pleasing mentality, the nice guy mentality. I've let go of even in my own life, waiting for things to happen in a certain way. And I've started taking the initiative. I can see now that it's everything in our lives right now is pointing to make the choice to make the change right now. I think that we may have forgotten, but we knew it wasn't going to be easy too, I think, incarnating on Earth. I know that sounds like some of you may be listening and it triggers you when I say these esoteric things like that because I talk about, things like, how do you know that? Well, first off, Dolores Cannon books, a lot of them point to this kind of stuff, a lot of channeled materials in the past, stuff like that. But I think that we came here to be a part of this shift in consciousness, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy because one of the things about this reality is we forget who we are to go through the process of remembering who we are. So that's what's happening, this pressure that's created. I think from some of the things that may be orchestrated on the planet, whether that was the thing that happened in 2001, the towers, boo, you know what I mean? With an orchestration behind that, literally bombs that go off before the plane even. It's, it's kind of sucks. It really sometimes sucks making some of these videos because I want to say so much more, but it's hard because there's this fine line when it comes to creating content on YouTube with the kind of information that's getting out there in the world where if you say too much, all your other shit may not get fucking shared. But if you don't say enough, then you're so ambiguous with this stuff that maybe people don't get it, what you're trying to say. It's there's this fine line of what you can say, but it doesn't even matter because so many people are waking up on the planet. So many people are going through a spiritual awakening, are realizing the illusion that's being projected at us through the media. It doesn't even matter because people are waking up regardless. But when it comes to that, when that happened, by the way, in 2001, towers, boop, guess what? the Schumann resonance, the frequency of the planet, initially it dropped a little bit because people were in fear. Maybe that was the agenda. Conspiracy. But maybe that was the agenda. But guess what? The Schumann then raised up even higher. You want to know why? Because so many people, it created such a degree of camaraderie and such a degree of community within the American people to come together, to realize we're all in this together. So in a way, what happened is it created more unity. I don't think they planned for that shit. I don't think they planned for that. Well, guess what? With everything that's going on right now in the world, with all the walls that are being built, don't talk to this person. Is this person get this? Did this person get this? He's not. Put it over the nose. Whatever it is, we're all in this shit together. We all came here to wake up. And everyone's at their different level of awareness, their different level of their own growth. And everyone's believing in their own set of belief systems. But realize this, they're just belief systems. It's, I can get angry at a lady that came up to me in the airport and it didn't work there. And it was like, excuse me, sir, put it over your nose, over the nose. And I'm just like, there's a part of me that gets triggered. But at the same time, I can't, it's having compassion. I have compassion because I've chosen maybe not to watch the news. So I don't know that in her mind, that's something that's really prevalent. Like she believes it. That's her belief system. So I have more compassion for that, but it's also not my belief system that I, buy into. I don't buy into the fear or into the belief that makes a big difference. It makes a big difference for something that has a 1%. Never mind. Anyways, if I'm going to say what I really want to say here, I'm saying that right now there is a splitting of parallel realities that is happening. There's an infinite number of realities that exist. And between the states, even between the states, if you go from California, I'm getting ready to go to California tomorrow. I'm going to get tattooed. Next time you see me, I'll have a little tattoo right here. Whenever the videos come out, you know what I mean. But I'm going to LA to get a tattoo. And when I go there, it's very different. It's a very different energy there. You got to have this little passport thing to get into restaurants. Here in Texas, good old Texas, you don't need that. There's a different reality in Texas than there is in LA. And here's the thing. People, for the most part, can choose where they put their energy and choose where they live. I know not everybody, maybe there's certain situations and stuff, but also maybe that's also a belief system, a story that we tell ourselves, no, I can't do this. But I do understand because there are people in Australia, for example, where that shit's been on lockdown for 2 years, like nobody can leave. So I understand that it's not everybody, it's not an option for everybody, but you will be able to clearly see that there's different splitting of parallel realities that's happening. There are people in reality over here. I chose to shift my reality personally because I wanted to live in a place that had more freedom, so I came here. So with 2021 and the energy of it, one of the main messages I want to share with you first off is stop waiting. Stop waiting. We can't keep waiting. We have to be the change we wish to see in the world. And one of the ways we do this is first off what we do is we start to go within ourselves. 90% of all transformation is awareness. That's why I'm getting the word awareness tattooed right here tomorrow. It's actually my birthday tomorrow. There's this tattoo artist in LA that I want to get a tattoo from, and he has a 4-month wait list. And he had one appointment that came up on my birthday, 4 days ago. He's like, if you want, you can take this appointment on this day. And I'm like, that's my birthday. So I felt it meant to be, so I'm going to go get it. But it's awareness. I'm getting tattooed right here. Why? Because 90% of all transformation is awareness. And when you become aware of your beliefs, if you become aware of the labels that you may inflict upon yourself or the positions, they're called positionalities, the meanings you gave to things in the past, you then start to free yourself. And you start to become free. And right now on the planet, what is happening is old systems, old structures are falling down so that we can create and pave a new way of being. That's what's happening. Now, some people on the planet right now, by the way, their purpose may be to notice and to be aware of what's falling apart. There's people like JP Sears, for example, on YouTube. He's making people aware of some of the things going on. He's kind of doing it in a satirical, in a funny way. And that's his path. It's awesome. It's beautiful. For me, though, I realize it's not my path to necessarily, like some of this information I'm sharing with you in this video, maybe it is kind of like the Great Awakening type stuff, or maybe it seems like red pill, woke stuff, but my purpose, I back in 2020 when everything started happening, I made some really out there videos where I was like, this is what's going on right now. It's BS. We got to wake up, blah, 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 blah. But I could tell that the energy created wasn't my path. It wasn't serving me to also go down the conspiracy rabbit holes. Some of you may be getting kind of lost in the conspiracy theories. And here's the thing with those can become very addictive, very dopamine ridden, because when you're looking at these things hidden that you should be told, but you're not told, we get very angry about it. We feel very alive. And then we want to tell everyone else about it. We want everyone else to wake up. But here's the thing. With some of those, I think what happens is the fear and the energy we put into it. Yes, we'll feel alive, but we end up feeding those negative timelines. And because of that, it puts us on a negative timeline. When I was studying some of these things, which I think some of them may have some truth in it, some of it, you have to be very discerning because a lot of it may be fabricated. When you put your energy into that kind of stuff, what you might realize is you start to have bad dreams. My dreams kind of became screwed after I started studying some of the Great Awakening content and going into conspiracy stuff. My dreams, my vibration, it just wasn't as uplifting to me. So what I'm saying is just be very mindful of where you put your energy and realize that this year was a year of breaking down the old, becoming aware of stuff and then letting it go. They have a saying when people do plant medicine, like ayahuasca or something, it's like, what's coming is going. Just observe as shit comes up in your life. As you let go of old negative patterns, as you let go of things that are weighing you down, and maybe it seems fearful to let go of, just observe it and let it go. And as you do, you will start to feel within yourself a new level of power, a new level of beingness. And that's what's happening for 2022, I believe, is we all have an ability to let go of the old, to be new, upgraded versions of ourselves. I feel it within my own life. I'm moving into more leadership. I'm moving into more of just doing it, just being this new version of myself. And it's me giving myself permission, like a permission slip for you to become the best version of you. But realize that part of this is the process of tearing down the old, to becoming aware of it, and what's coming is going. And as you become aware of it, just know it's a part of the process. It's like a sandcastle. You want to build a new sandcastle, you got to tear down the old sandcastle first. And we're just observing as more and more people wake up, more of us come together and we have this heart coherence, It's just a very powerful time that we live in right now. And I really believe that over the next 5 or 10 years, we will see more transformation on the planet than we have ever seen before. Just like this last year for me, I've done more shadow work and I've had more transformation than the prior, 30 years. Guess what? It's the same thing. We will experience this transformation, but be extremely aware of where you're putting your energy. Be aware of what you're watching. I've been watching the show Narcos. It affects my consciousness. I still do it. But I say that because if I was watching the news and it was making me programming negative beliefs and stuff, I would stop watching it. Narcos is just kind of entertaining. I watched Game of Thrones a while back ago. Super entertaining. My dreams were a little messed up. I watched Vikings before that. All these shows. Yeah, there's a dopamine, thing where I'm like, oh, this is fun to watch. But at the same time, I can tell it affects my consciousness. Now, in the same way, though, be very mindful and just know that part of this process of awakening may be that some people do leave your life. There's some people that might drain your energy. There's some people that may be negative, that may tear you down. It's okay to let them go. It's okay. It's scary because it's what you know. There's another quote I might get tatted on my body. It's by Osho. It says, courage is a love affair with the unknown. Courage is a love affair with the unknown. And going into the unknown may seem scary. It takes courage. But in 2022, what is waiting for you is a new version of you that is in the unknown. What and how can you step into the unknown? Is it going for your passion? Is it asking that person out? Is it trying something new? In the unknown is where all magic happens. For me, I'm leading and doing live events. I'm creating a new way that I interact with people. And it's been in this autopilot. It's been in the background for so many fucking years. Literally, I've been talking about it for like 2 years now. But then everything happened in the world, and it was like it's harder to do live events and stuff like that. But like I know it's my path. It's what I meant to do, and I'm excited for it. But at the same time, it takes courage, and it will take courage for you to step into this new version of you, and also to take ownership of some of the steps. Like the other thing I want to say to you, another tattoo I might get soon. Aaron's getting all these tattoos all of a sudden. It's something that says down to earth. Down to earth, because I believe my teachings are down to earth. They're grounded. They're practical, right? Down to earth. Be here, meow. Be here, meow. And the reason I say this is because sometimes we get lost in some of the spiritual concepts, these abstract ideas, consciousness, extraterrestrials, all the hidden information that's been happening on the planet, and we get sucked into it, and it becomes a distraction for us being here right meow. For us being grounded and staying down to earth. We came here to have a physical experience. We came here to wake up to who we are. We came here to enjoy this. I love my life now. I'm not trying to brag about that, but like, I want to be here. I want to be with you here going through this shift in consciousness on the planet. I want us to do it together. I want you and I to go through the inner work, maybe even like healing our inner childs and stuff like that. I want to do it with you. And I want us to like be able to like become aware of these aspects of ourselves and to have these aha moments and to realize like it's okay to let go of the old because we're in this together. It's okay to let go of old negative patterns. It's okay for us to step into the unknown and to have courage because we're all doing it together. And we came here for this. We don't remember this sometimes. And when it's hard and we feel separate from everybody else, it's like very apparent. But guess what? We came here to wake up together. We came here to remember who we are. We came here to be a part of the shift in consciousness. And in this year right now, in 2021, it's a year of letting go and having the courage to let go too. It takes fucking courage to let go. It is scary to let go. There's a quote from the book Awareness by Anthony DeMello. It says that what we think we fear the unknown, but we really don't fear the unknown. What we fear is the loss of the known. It's the loss of that comfort zone. It's the loss of safety that we fear letting go of. But realize that now we're in this together. There's a consciousness shift happening on the planet that we came here to be a part of. We came here for this. We just don't remember. And we came here to wake up together. And the biggest thing we can do to transform ourselves is to go within ourselves and become aware of our limiting beliefs, to become aware of our patterns inside of ourselves, to have awareness. And as we have awareness, we can then make no choices about who we are. We can choose to have courage. We can choose to forgive. We could choose to let go. And as we do, we then put ourselves on a completely new timeline. Going from 2022 and beyond, I think there's many timelines that exist. If you're on the conspiracy train, that will be a reality that you can be a part of. But that might be feeding the fear. If you're on straight the fear train, the media train, that might be another reality you're on. If you're on the awareness, you're just aware of it, but you're not getting triggered or pulled into it, and you're choosing consciously where you put your energy, that could be another reality you're on. There's a reality where you're probably working a 9-to-5 job that you hate, or that you don't have a job, or you're not doing anything. And there's a reality where you're doing what you love and you're passionate, you're excited to wake up. They all exist. You just got to fucking choose it. Just choose it. You can choose it right now. If you wonder why I say meow, by the way, it's become a part of my branding. Instead of now, I say meow, because it loosens up reality. It allows us to feel loose, loosey-goosey. But with this whole thing and everything that's coming out, I think that in the next 10, 15 years, there'll be more transformation than ever before. We came here to be a part of the shift in consciousness. Stop freaking waiting. Let's stop waiting. Let's start being the change that wish we see into the world and understand that as we do that, everything begins to change. There is, by the way, also a meditation. One of my most powerful meditations that I've created, has almost 1 million views or more, helps us to raise our dominant vibration permanently. Listen to this meditation for 21 days. Watch how it changes your life. And other than that, I'll talk to you later. Peace, much love, and namaste.